Goblins. My name is Jody and I'm the Goblin Girl. I'm a 43-year-old woman who loves makeup and is a bit of a geek, so we're here to learn how to use makeup together. I hadn't used makeup for a very long time. I used to use it in my early, probably actually mid to late teens and later, and then had to kind of start getting into it more as an adult, and then discovered colorful makeup. And as you can tell, I like colorful things. So I wanted to kind of share some of the things that I've learned as a part of the process of learning how to do my makeup again. So if learning about makeup is something that you're interested in, if you like having a good time, maybe have a good laugh or two, this is probably the place for you. So please like and subscribe and we'll get into it. So today we're actually going to talk about foundation. Foundation is the basis for all of the other makeup that you're going to put on. A lot of people use it. You don't have to use it, but it can be quite helpful. So for example, my face, I happen to have a lot of red, especially in my cheeks. And that's kind of something I've always struggled with. In fact, I never used blush for a very long time because of how red my cheeks were. I was always afraid to use any more color because I didn't want to look like a doll, you know, one of those dolls with the pale face and the bright red cheeks. That just didn't, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to look like that. So I didn't do much makeup. That was one of the reasons I actually stopped doing makeup. And then I started watching all of these people on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram that their faces look beautiful. But then when they started a video like this, they would come on and they would have acne, or they would have rosacea, or they'd have something else that really, you know, was kind of startling. And then when they put the makeup on, it completely transformed them. And I thought, wow, that's really cool. So how do they get there? Well, let's start off by talking about the different types of foundation. So a lot of YouTubers, especially and Instagram artists, will actually use something called full coverage foundation. Full coverage means you could take that foundation, and if you have a tattoo, which I don't have a tattoo, but if you have a tattoo and you put the foundation on, the tattoo is gone. Like, you can't see it anymore. It's just skin. I mean, it's paint really, but it's skin. So it's almost like you're placering paint on your face, and you no longer see anything on your face. The next level is basically mid coverage, which you would see something coming through, like you might see a little bit of red or something, but it's still, you can still kind of have a lot of coverage. You won't see as much of the distinct features on your face as you would. And then lastly, there is a light coverage, which light coverage just means that it's just going to kind of even out your skin tone. You would still see my red cheeks, but it wouldn't be as startling, or you wouldn't see as much. It would just kind of paint a nice little layer of protection over your skin. So in general, I use a moderate to heavy foundation, but it's not terrible. It's not like, there's some out there that is basically you're lacquering your face. Don't lacquer your face. Your faces are pretty as they are. You don't need to lacquer them. That would be really weird. On top of that, you can also get liquid versus powder foundations. I tend to like liquid foundation. It's kind of what I was brought up on when I was younger, and it just tends to have a better coverage. And again, I like better coverage because I really want to get rid of this red. And you're going to see that because I'm actually going to use it later on in this video. Just I want to kind of explain that, you know, there's liquid, there is powder. On top of that, there's also the price of the different foundations. So there's a foundation from a company, and I'll link the companies that I talk about in my description box for this video. There's a company called AOA, and you can only buy this, I think you can only buy it on Shop Miss A, but I bought it off of Shop Miss A, which is very inexpensive. You can get tons of products on there for $1. This was $1. Shipping, I forget how much shipping is, but if you order a certain amount, I think it's $35, it's free shipping. So I just add to my cart, and then eventually when I want to buy stuff, I just purchase everything at once. In fact, I just moved here to Florida, so I just literally placed an order because I had nothing basically when I moved. So this was $1. That's very inexpensive. And the one I mostly use now, which is the Covergirl Outlast. And I'll explain why I use this in a bit. But this I think was like $13, and this is considered drugstore. So you can buy this in a drugstore. You can also get it at Ulta, which I can explain some of the different shopping places, but or you can even get it on Amazon. But it's still very reasonably priced. At one point, I was looking at getting a foundation that was about $45 at Ulta. Mostly because one of the YouTubers that I happen to watch, her name's Raw Beauty Christie, was recommending it and said, and it looked, her skin looks flawless. It's beautiful, beautiful skin. There's very little texture in it on her videos. There's very little redness, and I was like, I need to get this. So I went into the Ulta store, and my husband was looking at me like, $44? And I thought, that's a lot. I like looking pretty. There's some things that I definitely pay more for. You'll see in some of my other videos, but for something that is going to go underneath everything and you're probably not going to see nearly as much of, it didn't make sense. So instead, I went with this. So this particular foundation, I really like because, first of all, I live in Florida, so I need some kind of protection for my skin so it doesn't burn, because I burn very easily. As you can imagine, I'm very pale skinned. So I needed something with SPF in it, and this actually has an SPF of 18. It's not perfect, but it definitely helps protect my skin a little bit when I'm out and about. On top of it, I like the way it feels on my skin. I like the way my skin looks afterwards. As you'll see, it kind of takes away a lot of the markings from my skin, especially that red color. Let's see. I happen to have the color Fair Ivory, which I honestly think is a little bit too light for my skin, and I'll show you also how I figured out kind of how to tell color. It's a difficult thing. So the dollar one that I had, I used to use this quite a bit when I first got it, but probably the second or third time I was out wearing it, I was at a drive-through, and I looked in my rearview mirror and I looked orange. And I don't mean I had a little bit of orange cast to my skin. I look like a Cheeto. I don't want to look like a Cheeto. So I don't wear this anymore. And that effect that happens with almost all liquid makeup is, as it dries down, the oxygen interacts with some of the chemicals in it and it will change color. And so when you immediately put on your foundation, don't expect that's the color that it's going to stay, because it's probably not. It's going to change. It's going to change within a few minutes, and then also throughout the day as you continue wearing it. The more the oxygen gets to the product, the longer it's going to take. The more it's going to change color on you. So this one is actually very fair. When I put it on, it's almost too light, but then as I go through the day, it actually gets much better, and by the time night happens, it's very close to my actual skin color. So one thing I tried to figure out when I was first starting out makeup is, what kind of colors do I use? I heard a lot of people talking about warm tones, cool tones. Am I a warm tone, or am I a warm skin person? Am I a cool skin person? Like, how do I know the difference? So the biggest indicator that someone said is look at your veins on your wrist. So I'm gonna actually show you, if I can, my wrist. I don't know, maybe up there is better, yeah. And you can actually see the lines going through my wrists are very blue. Another indicator is, what kind of jewelry do you prefer? Do you prefer silver jewelry, or do you prefer gold jewelry when you're wearing jewelry? What looks better on you? And silver jewelry has always looked better on me. I've always preferred it. I've always, whenever my husband's asked, what jewelry do you want? I always have said silver jewelry. So those kind of indicated to me personally that I was a cool toned person. So when you're looking at foundation, you want to look for those shades that have cool tone indicator, if you are such. If your veins in the skin look more green, that means that you're neutral. And if it's more red, that means you're warmer toned. And if you like gold, then you're generally more of a warmer toned. And I think it's rose gold or something similar for the metals. I'm not 100% sure on the neutral jewelry tone piece of it, because I'm cool toned. So let's see. Sorry. So another way you can kind of, if you could go into a makeup counter store, which right now we're all in COVID, so you can't easily do it, or whatever they're calling it, the panini. You can't just go in and test makeup out, but if you could, the best way I've learned is that if you can draw a line from your cheek down your chin down to your neck, it should match kind of both of those things, because you want to make sure, you know, that if you put your foundation on your face, that you don't look one color here and one color down here. That looks weird. In fact, a lot of people will actually bring their foundation down to their neck to try to match, to make sure that they look the same, right? Because the worst thing in the world is if you have a really dark face, orange face, and a white neck, something isn't right, right? You want to look natural. The next thing I want to talk about is tools. Like, how do you actually apply the makeup product to the face, especially when you're talking about a liquid. You know, it's liquid. You can't just spray it on your face. That would be spray tan, not foundation. You could do spray tan. The two methods that I've used to put foundation on my face is, one, I will use something called a beauty blender or a sponge. This one is from Shop Miss A, and you can get them very inexpensively. I don't remember offhand how much, but it will be in the description box. This one is used, as you can tell, because it's kind of got some product on it. I won't use this one today. I throw this in the wash. I just want to take it out to show you guys, because you know, it's kind of one of the things of like how, and you can use this kind of cool corner tip, right, to actually pat it into your inner corners to be able to get into some of those fine details that you can't easily get with this big round bottom. But the big round bottom you can use to, you know, dot all over the place. The other tool, and the one that I'm going to use today, is actually a brush. So you're going to hear a lot about brushes, because there's a lot of different kinds of brushes to apply different makeup to your face. And one of my videos I will try to do is how I clean my brushes, because it doesn't look like it, but this is actually clean. It's just I've used this a lot to use my my product. So yeah, it's this particular one I like for foundation because it's very firm. Like if I tap on it, it's, you know, you can see it's kind of holding its shape more than a fluffy brush. Like I have this, let me show you this really fluffy brush. This is my floofy one that does need cleaning, that I use for powder products, because it's just, you know, it's very, like if I push down on it, it just kind of flattens out, right? There's like nothing, there's no, it's just not a sturdy brush. It's a floofy powder brush. Floofy. Okay. So, this is more of a stiff brush, and it's more firm, and you can tell it's, you know, it's going to hold the product, but it's also going to apply it pretty well. This brush is a part of a very expensive set. So one way I recommend that you can get makeup products and add more makeup to your life is using a subscription box. I was part of the Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. And in the Ipsy Glam Bag Plus, they actually gave us a set of makeup brushes for, it's $25 a month. And this set of makeup brushes, which there are 5 of these, were worth like $120. So for 5 brushes that are normally $125, I got as a part of my set for $25 a month. So it was worth it. And you get multiple. I've gotten probably 2 or 3 makeup brush sets as a part of that Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. So I definitely recommend it. You can also get makeup brushes on Shop Miss A. I actually got a giant set from them just so I can have some more variety of makeup brushes. So that's kind of helped quite a bit as well. Let's actually do this so you can get, oh, that blue. Now I'm not orange, I'm blue. I don't want to be either of those colors. No, I don't. Come on, where is my screen? There, now I'm white again. Yay. Almost too white. That's okay though. All right, so, what was I saying? Oh, brushes, yeah. So Ipsy Glam Bag Plus is a makeup subscription that costs $25 a month, and you get, I don't know, they say like $200 or something, I think, per month worth of product, which a lot of that is skincare products, because skincare products are crazy expensive sometimes. Like you can get a bottle of something that's like that big for like $100 or more, which again, I'm cheap. I don't pay that much for most of the things I spend. So it was nice to do that for a while with the Ipsy bag. But you also get nice brushes. You know, I've gotten this before. I don't even know where some of my other ones are. They're in here. I know they are. I'm looking for my pink ones. Pink brushes. Here's a set. This I think was from Makeup of the Day. It's a weird diagonally brush thing that I use sometimes in the crease of my eyes. So, and they always send matching, like this one is, you know, it's kind of cool. It's like jean jacket type material. So this one was a pink set. So I'll also send a link for Ipsy so you can also see what it looks like if you're interested. All right, so let's take off the glasses because you can't put makeup on glasses. And then I'm also going to tie or pull back my purple beautiful locks with some clips. And I try to first of all put it behind my ear so I can easily see kind of what I'm doing, and then I just kind of clip it up. And yes, I know I have purple around my head. That's not going anywhere. I'm not a perfectionist, by the way, in case you can't tell. I believe good enough is good enough. If it's not perfect, that's perfectly fine. There is nothing about perfect in the world. So then I'm going to take my bottle of Outlast. And it says 24 hours. Don't ever wear your makeup for 24 hours. That's crazy. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. And I'm going to put some on my hand. Okay, so we're going to take this, and I'm not just going to put it on here or put it on my face. I've seen people do that. I wouldn't do that personally. What I do is I actually put it on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to do one whole pump. So just the whole thing all the way down and then back, let it back up. And you'll see I now have a splotch of foundation. And I'm just going to dip my brush in it until I have some on my brush. And then I'm just going to start applying it. And as you can tell, it looks really pale compared to my skin. But that's okay. And I'm actually going to use my mirror over here because I can't easily see myself in the video. And I do kind of pull it down a little bit below my cheek just to kind of make sure everything's even out. And you'll notice I'm not really doing my eyes because I don't like having extra things in my eyes. And at some point in another video, we're going to actually put eye primer on our eyes. And I'll explain what that is when I talk about eyes more. But now, some people like using brushes and some people like using sponges. I'm okay with either of them, honestly. But some people, when they use brushes, they notice that they actually get brush strokes in their face. So you can actually see, and I don't think you can because I don't really see it in my mirror, but you can actually see the little individual strokes of each brush. And I'm going to go up right up almost to my eyes, but not completely. And all around my nose. And that's about half my face, maybe a little over. So then I take another pump. And again, I put a whole pump on my hand. Dab it on my face. And now we're going to do the other side, and which is a little more awkward because I am mostly right-handed. I'm actually going to use my left hand because it's just closer. And let's do it. And I try to go up as close to my hair as possible. I have a little bit of a peak on my hair line, but it's fine. And just just keep brushing it. I actually like the way this looks better than when I use my sponge, but I've liked both. I've done both. But the idea is that you want a really dense brush. If I use the powder brush for this, it wouldn't work. It would just floof and you would get product everywhere and floof, floof, floof. Just no, don't use a floof. Use something with some kind of stiffness to it. Yeah, that's what she said too. So. So now that I've done this, you can kind of tell that right now I kind of look like a white canvas, right? Because my face is completely one texture throughout. It's all this one clear color. So this color, it's all one set color, I should say. So now my entire skin is just this one kind of alabaster white look to it. I have no more red on my cheeks. I have no more depth to my face. So if you wanted to, you could add lipstick now, add some eyeshadow, add some blush, but you have no definition. So the next steps that we're kind of going to talk through, and I won't do it on this video, on future videos, is how to get that depth, how to make your face look like a face again. Because right now, I look like a ghost. Let's not be a ghost. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. If you've enjoyed watching this, if you've had fun watching this, if you like people turning into ghosts, I almost want to do my ears a little bit. And again, this is going to change. So in a few minutes, in like an hour or so, it's not going to be nearly as pale. It's still going to be one color and one layer though. So I'm actually going to stop and put some color, other things on my face to make me look not so flat. But anyway, if you've enjoyed watching this, I hope you like and subscribe this video. And hey, what foundation do you like? Why do you enjoy foundation? Do you enjoy a foundation with SPF in it, or do you not? Do you like something that has more depth in it? Do you like, the inexpensive version of Shop Missy? What kind of foundations do you like? Or are you going to be spending the, $40+ on more luxe versions of foundation? Thank you again, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, goblins.